Hi everyone, it's Phung. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today I am going to do my first hashtag coffee and thoughts. If you've been following me on social media for the past couple years, I always love writing down my thoughts, and now with my YouTube channel, I really wanted to be more present here. So this is a great way for me to share with you my thoughts, experiences, and to be super honest, the topic that I'm going to be talking about today, my heart is kind of racing right now. It's something that I've been wanting to talk about. I briefly talk about it on my stories from time to time, but to actually sit here, record this, and put it out there into the universe, it's a little scary. But I know that this will help a lot of people. I know that a lot of people are currently in the same position that I once was, and it's something that we don't really talk about. It's something that a lot of us try to deal with on our own, and that topic is debt. So in 2017, I was in so much debt. I'm talking about debt. Well, for me, it felt like so much. I was almost $11,000 in consumer debt. Consumer debt meaning I purchased all these things. I did it to myself. I didn't have student loans. My parents worked really, really hard to put me and my brother through college. So all the debt that I had was because I purchased things and I made poor choices. Uh, Getting emotional, but I'm really grateful that I did go through it because it has changed me so much. The person that I used to be compared to and now is completely two different people. And yeah, 2017 was a really crazy year. But a lot of videos on social media always talk about how to get out of debt, steps to take, budgeting, so on and so forth. Those are things that I do want to touch base on. But first, I wanted to talk about how I got into debt, because I feel like you have to address the problems. You have to actually know what's going on and before you actually work on getting out of it. And I feel like the things that I'm about to list are things that you guys might have experienced as well. So I wrote down I wrote down the list of all the reasons I got into debt in my passion planner, which is a reason why I got out of debt, got my life on track, so many other things, another video to come. So the first thing is I bought things I didn't need. And I know that a lot of us do that, and it might not seem like a big deal, but I was consistently buying things that I didn't need. I was very materialistic. I was heavily influenced by the people that I was surrounding myself with, things I saw on social media. I had this twisted reality of what success was, and I just thought being successful meant having a lot of money, having a lot of nice things, and that to me was like the goal. When I was in college, getting out of college, I want to work hard, make my parents proud, and also I want to buy a lot of nice things. I want fancy cars, designer bags, I want to eat fancy meals, I want to be successful. So I just kept buying things that I couldn't afford, and because everyone else had it. And the influence is just so strong. And even though that I knew better, my parents raised me to be mindful of my spending. They taught me to save. They always said, Gong, don't spend money on things you don't need. And I still fucked up. And I've always learned the hard way with a lot of things in my life, but I guess I learned, right? So I was just very materialistic. I had a lot of designer bags. I had two cars at one point. I had a Lexus GS350 as well as an Audi S5 at the same freaking time. And both of my car payments every month were $900. Yeah, $900 just for two car payments that didn't even include insurance. So just imagine how much money I spent just on cars. And I didn't need two cars. It's gonna be a whole nother video about that. That was by far the worst financial decision I ever made. So Yeah, I did that. I shopped a lot. I worked a lot. I worked a lot of hours. So I was always telling myself, I deserve this. You know, you work hard, you deserve it. Every week I was shopping, buying myself things, and everything just accumulated. And then the debt kept going up and up. And yeah, that was the first thing. The second part, I lived above my means and my paycheck. So during 2015, 16, um, 2015, I was working two jobs. I was working at a fitness company and I was also doing personal training. So I was making about $5,000, give or take, every month. And $5,000 to me is a lot of money, you know what I mean? And even after taxes, I still had money. So I was just like buying things, just living. Like I didn't have a budget, I just spent. And at the end of 2015, that was the same year my mom passed away, I left the company and I was just doing personal training. So 2015 was a really crazy year and my mind wasn't right and I just wasn't as focused as I was, and personal training wasn't doing very well, and I was barely making $1,000 a month, and the struggle was so real. And the thing was, I still had my car payments, I still had all these expenses, yet I wasn't making enough money, you know what I mean? And that was really hard because I was I didn't have money, but I was still going out to eat. I was still buying things. I was in a new relationship, so I was like flying back and forth to San Francisco, and I was just still not being mindful of my spending. So when my income and lifestyle took a hit, like my income decreased, I was still living like I was making $5,000 a month, which is a huge, huge mistake. But I mean, it is what it is. It happened. Number three, I did not budget. I did not budget whatsoever. I felt like everything that I made, I just spent it. And that was such a huge mistake. I didn't write down like all of my expenses. I didn't write down my income. I didn't balance them out, see where I could cut down. Yeah, I was just reckless and not disciplined. I didn't write down goals, and that definitely put me into more debt, you know? Um, whew. This next one. So, so when my mom passed away, I worked a lot, and I feel like I feel like I was trying to fill a void of not having her around. So I worked a lot. I worked a lot. I spent a lot. I was trying to fill a part of me that was missing, and I didn't realize that I was doing it. And it's crazy because no matter how much nice things I had, I still felt so empty inside. Like so empty. Like I had two cars, I had a handful of designer bags, all these things, and I just still felt so empty. And it just goes to show me that no matter what you try to do, try to buy something, try to like hide the pain, like the pain's always going to be there. And I didn't address my feelings regarding my mom's passing. I just tried working through it. I just tried being really, really strong for myself, for my family. On social media, I was just like masking a lot of the things that I was going through because I just didn't know how to feel. I was going through a lot of guilt and resentment of like not being around more for my mom when she was here, and just a bunch of shit, you know? And yeah, I just felt like I hit rock bottom when I just looked around me and I just felt so empty, even though I had so many things. And I I know that my mom is still looking out for me because she put all these really hard situations in my life to make me take a deeper look at myself and to acknowledge that I don't know what I'm doing. You know, my mom passed away when I was 26. I'm still trying to learn, trying to grow up, trying to be my own person, learning how to live without my mom, trying to work and just everything. And, you know, she looked out for me because since she passed away, um, she taught me so many lessons, but the lessons about debt and like materialism, she had a hand in it, and she saved me. Like my mom definitely saved me. In 2015, when she passed away, I got robbed outside of the gym I was working at in Long Beach. Someone smashed my window and stole my Louis Vuitton that my mom bought me. So that was fucking painful. Like, not because it was a Louis Vuitton, but because that was the first like Louis my mom ever bought me. It's more so sentimental reasons, you know? So that happened in 2015. And then I went to Vietnam in 2017 for my cousin's wedding, and I got robbed again of another Louis Vuitton bag that my mom got me. And man, like if that's not like a sign from above from my mom, like I don't know what is, you know? I literally just walked down from my hotel room, not even 30 seconds on the street, a motorcycle came behind me, cut the purse, took off with it. And as I see these two guys holding on to like my mom's bag driving away, I fucking sprinted. I sprinted through an intersection, didn't even look left and right. Like all I saw was my mom's purse like being taken away from me. And when it happened, I just felt so depressed because it was like a part of my mom that I felt was taken from me again, you know? And all of my aunts and like my dad were telling me that it's okay. Your mom left with that purse so that your body could stay here. You know, that materialism, like the material thing left, but you still have your life, and that's what's most important. So ever since I got robbed that day, like I literally stopped wearing like all of my designer bags. They just sat there, and I was just like really thinking about things and seeing how quickly it can be taken from you. Like no matter how hard you work for something, how many hours you put in, how much money it is, someone can literally take that from you. So it just made me realize like I was putting so much value into buying all these things, and it can be gone, you know? So that really did change me so much. And since I got robbed and then all the debt just kept piling on more, I was just like, and this is not the way to live. Like, I don't want to live like this forever. I don't want to be so consumed in materialism. I don't want to live paycheck to paycheck. I don't want to work just to pay my bills and not have anything left over, you know? In 2017, like, I was working just to pay my bills and not even having anything left over. Like, my mind was so unfocused. Like, I was charging so low for training sessions, talking $15 a session when it should be at least 40 at the bare minimum, you know? Like I was just struggling trying to make any type of money. I picked up a serving job. So I would train clients all day, and then at night when I'd be done at 7, I would change, get ready, and go to my serving job from 8 p.m. till 2 a.m. in the morning. Okay, so I like had a social media following. I won Miss Vietnam. I have all these Louis Vuittons. I'm showing up to this restaurant in an Audi. Yeah, I'm serving tables. Like that's so mind blowing to me that on the outside it looked like, you know, I was like rich, successful, but I had no money, and like no one gave a fuck that like I had a social media following, that I had all these accomplishments. All they cared about was that I got their drinks and their food on time, and I gave them good service. And the tough part was a lot of times people didn't even tip. So let me tell you, that serving job humbled me so much. It just like kind of like snapped me out of this like delusional realm that I was in for a while. And I just didn't have anyone to talk to for a while in the beginning because I was so embarrassed. I was embarrassed to talk about having debt. I was embarrassed to ask for help. Even my dad was like, why are you serving? Like, why are you working? And then I was just like, oh, I just want to make extra money. And I just didn't want to disappoint him because I was already so disappointed in myself. So yeah, just that's like the gist of how I got into debt, you know. I'll tell you that it has been quite a journey, and I feel like a completely different person after experiencing that. I'll tell you this now, I will never allow myself to get back into that situation again. I'm a lot more mindful with my spending. I'm a lot more mindful of what I perceive as valuable. And I still have like my mom's purses. I have 3 or 4 left. And like I'm always gonna keep that because she works so hard for it, and like I get to wear something of my mom's. But you won't catch me buying any designer bags or any like luxury items because there's just no need for me to do that. These days I spend my money on experiences, savings, just being able to be financially free. And that's something that I will never ever take for granted again. So I hope that you got something out of this if you were able to relate with me at any point. And if you are in the same situation where you're completely lost and confused, just know that you can get out of it. You have to take responsibility, acknowledge that you have a problem, talk to your loved ones about it, and start with the plan. So that's something I'll talk about in another video. This one I just wanted to dedicate to how I got into debt. So yeah, 2020 is going to be a year where like I really want to focus more on YouTube, sharing situations with you all and seeing how I can help serve you better, and also just document these moments for myself. One day I want my kids to look at this and be like, okay, mom went through that. Like, let me try to not do that. And hey, if my kids ever get into debt again, we'll work through it. So just know that your debt doesn't define you. You can get out of it, and it's never too late to like start over. Okay, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you do, please like, subscribe, share, and I will be back soon. Bye.